Hello everybody, John here, and today onto the garage we're going to look at everything that's wrong with Steele, my XK8 from 2001. Hi all! Yeah, it might seem a little late in the day to be working out what's wrong with this car because most of you have been following along with the series. Very fast catch up. I bought this car for £700. It was a non-runner and it had not been started for 10 years because nobody could get it to start. That is now sorted. Go back to the videos if you want to know everything we had to do it. However, I have genuinely, and this may not sound likely, never examined the car beyond looking at it to see what else is good and bad about it. Why? Because my intention was always to get the car to run. Victory is mine. We have accomplished that together, and thanks for everybody for chucking in their ideas. The next step is, what do we do with it? Well, it kind of depends on the condition of everything else. It's quite a pretty looking car. Worst case, it's an amazing parts car, but that really would be worst case. Maybe it's a project for one of you guys. Don't know. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to give it the once over and we're going to find out together everything that this car needs. Now I'm not going to go to dealer level of detail because that's not realistic. I didn't spend much. I'm not going to spend more than I really have to get it to whatever level I want. But I'm going to note down everything that I know this car needs through an examination and some really simple testing. And then together we'll eventually decide what to do with this car, and I want you guys to be part of that as always. I wonder how expensive it's going to be to fix. So I got my notepad, literally just got Steele written on it. Join me, let's go round. We've got very nice headlight unit on this side, slightly fogged fog light on that side. That'll just clean a little bit. Where is it? Can you catch it? Crazing in the paint there. Bumper's not distorted, so I don't think it's been bumped. A lot of stone chip damage, which is consummate with doing motorway miles. Again, a little bit of stone chip damage and stuff that's been touch penned in on the front, which again is good. It means that it's honest. I'm looking at the car that's not been covered up, and again we've got a fogged lamp here. I think that just needs cleaning. Another great condition headlight. No front winglets, but you know, most of them are missing those, and that's not a problem. It's got its front under tray, and other than cobwebs, it looks rather nice on the front. So we're going to go side lights, dip beam headlights, high beams, front fogs, indicate left, indicate right. Tyres. Now the tread on all these tyres is fine, absolutely fine. The problem with all these tyres is just going to be their age. I don't know if you can see there, that's crumbled to the extent I can see the cord. So you know, this is shot. 2309, so that makes that 16 years old, and as it's been off the road for 10 years, you can say they were probably 6 years old when it parked up. Very slight scuff there on the wheel, but that's nothing. Continental Sport. Continental's a good premium brand. Looking for the date. 2610. So put on at a different time. Now, in fairness, this tyre looks good. Tread, and it's not cracked, but it is old. But I've driven cars with far older tyres on, and this one again, it's got some light scuffing, nothing that a touch of paint wouldn't sort, but least of my worries. Front tyre, it's got this unusual checker pattern on the Continental, so it makes it a bit hard to see maybe, but these are very cracked. 22nd week 2009. So pair of tyres. Back tyre. Again, actually, tread depth is fine, but they're old, but they don't show cracking. Let's have a little look at them. This one is a 2209 again. So, from a budget point of view, I could put 2 tyres on it, or I might be able to land on somebody who's got a spare set of wheels with decent tyres, but 2 times front tyres. So, body panels. It helps if the car is clean and shiny, but I don't have the option of washing it whilst it's in my garage. So, the bonnet, other than stone chips here and there, looks in good condition. Some blooming on the paint just there, just a little. There it is. But other than that, there's no dents or dinks. This wing, no dents, no scratches. Outer sill looks pretty good. Front door, again, it's very dirty, so easy to tell. Looks pretty good. Seals, now this windscreen seal has blown, but that is not the end of the world bad. The Dorchester grey trims have got a few scabs, but that is not bad. The mirror cap, the paint has blown, so I think that's been resprayed at some stage and it's lifting, so that needs respraying. Okay, Dorchester grey could do with a touching up, but we are not talking bad. Let's look at this rear quarter. Again, I'm not quite sure how well you're able to view it because your viewing angle is slightly different, but we're both using a good strong light. Now, the paint has come off, and I think it's been touched up before, and it's now got surface rust on. That is actually pretty decent, and that looks like totally original wing. So nobody's been in there before. This can be treated and dressed. That doesn't look bad at all. Sill at the back, the way along. Looks remarkable. In the wheel arch, looks very good from here. So again, same as on the other side, it's gathered the mud and it's just sat for a long time there. So that's going to need a little bit of fettling. Under there looks actually rather good. Yeah, straight, no dents, very little way of scuffs. Door, there's a tiny dink there. That'll probably pull out with glue sticks. Mirror cap is again shot. This one's more obvious. It's been resprayed and the paint hasn't stuck properly. Easy fix. Dorchester grey trims. Better on this side. Was popped off a little bit. Probably because corrosion has got behind it. But that's easily dressed up. Yeah, this is good. This is very good actually. Roof panel, you know, it's so filthy it's hard to tell, but it's not dented. No obvious scuffs or marks. Rear quarter, tiny scratch. Most of this is dirt. In the white stuff, yeah. A little blistering here. Not the end of the world. And the same as on the other wheel arch. That is dirt, not rust, but no, that looks fine. So again, need dressing in this area. That I could probably live with for a while. The rear Dorchester grey is rather more flaky, so that's good, but the actual trim piece is nice and flat, so that could be mashed up, rubbed down and sprayed in situ if you want. Boot lid, don't read anything to the shut lines, it is half open. Looks good. And I'm going to have to open my garage door even though it's cold. That's better. Round the back, so seems good. No accident damage, which should show up there. Seems good. That's very good. I think that, yeah, that's on it rather than in the paint. Don't know what that is. Rear bumper. No damage. We've got reversing sensors. It's good. So I call a Mark II car. Got a cover for the towing eye because the bumper is bigger and deeper. Give the bumper a good tug. That's fine. The bumper mounts go on these. Boot rams are a bit lazy, but they're good enough. They hold it well in the vertical position. I just don't lift the boot lid. Notice he's got the emergency triangle kit, which Purdy doesn't have, so if I don't keep this car, I might keep that. Okay, I've removed the trim because of working on the car, but it's all present. So we don't have the right battery in it. This is the battery that came with the car, but I've managed to recondition sufficiently that it actually works fine, but it is the wrong battery. I have got a battery there. If I'm honest, I'm just a bit snobbish about the brand. It's in okay condition, so that's okay. We can swap that over, but it does need its battery swapping. There's no corrosion obvious or accident damage in here. The tank is half out, so we can't read anything into that. Let's get the trim panels, but I haven't removed, out of the way. This is an important area to check on your XK8s, and that's why. Yeah, that's savable. That's just surface rust at this stage. This is an air vent. It allows air from under the car to come into the car past the rubber flap. Water has got in there, which is what causes that, but it is just surface, so that's all savable. Somebody asked me the other day, how do you open the fuel cap if the electric release is gone? There's a lever just here which you pull and it opens the fuel filler cap. So I did explain at the time, but now I can see it, it's easy to show. 19th of April 2001, this car. Let's go in this side as well. Interesting to see a bigger frame here for mounting more gizmos. I'm used to earlier cars. Well, all looks pretty good. I think we can assume that this will be exactly the same. A little bit of moisture's got in, but it's not too bad, so you can take that out and clean that area up. Yeah, we've got all the tools, and again nothing untoward. No buckled floor. But whilst we're looking at the fuel tank, that's the underside of the cap or lid. Let's send you guys in for a peep to remind you, or if you're new to this channel, that tank is really disgusting. But I think I could clean it up. I mean, the actual condition of the tank, you can see, I mean, it lives indoors in the car, but it's been open for a very long time, so it's a combination of corrosion and fuel that's evaporated and left like a tar deposit. So yeah, that one's still up in the air, but I think one way or another the fuel tank's got to come out, and I'll examine it and we'll probably clean it up, and if not, I'll just have to buy a new one. We're not shutting the boot properly because the key no longer fits the boot lock. So refer back to my other videos. I've changed the ignition barrel, which means that I've got to change this as well. We'll get to that very soon. Oh, you'll have seen this in the garage in some shots. There's no way of avoiding it. Video coming up real soon on this. If you like bicycles, you're going to love this thing. It really appeals to the engineering. Look at the engineering on. It's got a differential, 2 chains, central go-kart style disc brake. Yeah, we'll get onto it. We'll get onto it. There's a bike I'm testing at the moment. Quick coat change, because I've had the camera turned off for a while. I was just going to whip the wheels off and recognise another little issue. The car has no wheel nut key. All this time, never knew. Anyway, I got around that. I'm not going to tell you how. It's not that sort of channel. But wheel nut key is now on there, along with new level sensor for the fuel tank. The aerial is stuck. The boot barrel, the lock barrel, needs changing. We do have that. And door barrel. Anyway, back to the action. Okay, so discs. Despite how they look, obviously stood for so long, there is absolutely no lip either end, so they were changed not long before this was laid up. And you can also see the pads. I know that the tip on the screwdriver is 8mm wide, so it's 10mm, so they're practically new. These wires have got no corrosion on them, so get myself a little brush, I think. So yeah, these are gonna be okay. But they will want good clean up and check over. Back plates are good. Again, the sensor for the ABS, look at the state. Those of you who get a kick out of a barn find, this is probably tickling that same fancy. Let's have a little look at the drop links. No movement in them whatsoever. Bushes feel good. D bushes, that is. Despite how long this has stood, can you see the bright washer there? That means somebody's been in here and dealt with the top bushes. Again, probably not for 10 years, but those are still pliable. So they've been replaced, so that's good. Coils look fine. All there. Wow. Even the top mount's still intact. Gator is obviously not where it should be, but I'm feeling inside it for the bump stop. There's a bump stop still in there, and it feels full form, which means I'd be able to force that back up and clamp it into position up here so it covers this piece of the shaft. That has just dropped down. Still got the white nylon washers in. These deteriorate and disappear over time. It's also got spacers, which I think is a later car thing. They all seem to have some. Right, then we got this area here. Good. And this area here. Good. That's very often rotted through. I know you can't see it, but they take my word for it on this bit. Yeah, that's good. And there's that bit that I think needs some repair. But so it's on the undersealed area and it doesn't extend around the edge. Sure, when I rub a bit of paint off they'll see some more corrosion, but that's not worrisome at all. Now where I'm expecting this to be a disaster is the brake flexi hoses, because something is letting all of the brake fluid out. And this would be my number one suspect. Because it's kind of the weak link in every car's brake system. Not Jags or even XK8s. And because of the age, but maybe not. That doesn't look like it's leaked. And as I sprayed all the fluid out recently when I was trying to manoeuvre the car, I would have thought we'd have seen something. It's not all over the disc. There's the alarm system where I disconnected. That's the intelligent sounder for those who have not been in there before. I disconnected it when I was having the starting issues, or staying started issues. I'm just feeling for obvious sliminess where all the fluid has escaped to. Well, not there. All right, so that is actually a hell of a lot better than it looks. Let's have a look at the bottom arm bushes. Still very pliable. Again, I mean, the best as you can test with a dangling suspension, that looks fine. When they go, things start to look very off centre. The rubber that you can see tends to be crumbling and flaking. Let's get to the next wheel arch. I won't bore you with the repeat, but this one is identical condition. The disc is obviously only just been put on, as have the pads and the clips. It's got bright washers on the top wishbone. Still no sign of the leak. Right, rear corner. Bump stop intact. Cobwebs everywhere. Tiny lip, barely perceptible. Again, I wouldn't say that's gone very far. And no, it hasn't, because the pads are again as new, really. Again, width of my screwdriver tip is 8mm. And I think you can see I've got some space in there. It might be 9mm. Okay, flexi hose is intact. I was convinced we were going to find them fallen to bits. This plate has pulled away a little bit, but if you're familiar with these vehicles, that's fine, that's excellent in fact. This is an area where on Steele, the grey coupe that I saved was rotten as a pear there, and all this was rotten. And the fact that that's been painted up tells me somebody's been in there and done a bit of work at some stage. Or maybe it's just overspray from touching this up. But again, that looks fine. Exhaust, still on Jaguar original. Dampers, no wet on them. Coils are all intact. Bottom bushes look fine. I am noting, you see the bolts loose, or loose, out. I bet somebody was thinking about dropping the axle to take the tank off. They're not the bolts to remove, but you wouldn't necessarily know that. And that's as far as they got. Ah, that is completely shot. That's the rear anti-roll bar bush. Fortunately, a very nice subscriber, hiya Gerard, sent me some upgraded one of those not long ago, so we got that one covered. How about the top? Ah, shot Or is it shot? Or is it undone? Hard to tell. My first instinct, it's undone. But then again, is that because, no, it's undone, it's loose. Okay, so somebody's been in here, so it needs new drop links on the rear, for sure, 100%. Those are loose. Can't move them with my hand, but I bet they are loose. Okay, let's continue in a reasonably systematic manner. The handbrakes were locked on until I started moving the car. Just freed things off. So I'll have to go in there just for my own peace of mind, but it's not looking too bad. Last corner. Again, that was locked on, but the car's freed itself because I moved it. Yeah, that's proof there's no lip at all on that. Slide my screwdriver right to the edge. So they've not been on long. And again, I'd say that's 9mm. That isn't where it's supposed to be. Never mind. Okay, dampers are dry. Springs all intact. Bump stop all intact. Wheel arch good. In fact, very, very good. Again, you see the paint around that area. And this panel, absolutely sound. Whew. I'm even seeing signs that the UJs have been greased on this regular. Better view of this wheel arch, say. That is completely savable. And it's not been resprayed that I can detect. Right, let's go underneath at the back. What we can see, let's get you a decent position. Well, first thing, yep, oops, loose. What about these? Yep, I'm prepared to believe, because this is painted, and that's certainly not overspray, that might have been the last job that the previous owner did. Replacing this, because it looks in very good condition actually. They've very often got scabs and blisters and holes in this plate, so I think that's somebody replaced the plate and for whatever reason haven't quite got round to finishing it off, probably ill health. Looking at it again, the bushes look okay on the dampers, not fresh, but I'm not worried about them. Again, the drop link on this side's more or less gone, not like the other side, but you wouldn't change them singly anyway. That's a top corrosion spot, as I know from my exploits on Steele, and that looks good. Just looking at the brake lines because I know I've got a leak. See anything obvious yet. There's the fuel filter, which I will be changing and have one already. Handbrake mechanism, which may just be the mechanism that's seized.
this is all looking great. Right, floor. Obviously my lift masks a lot of this, so I'll have to do another little inspection by jacking, but this is in good nick. This is in good nick. So, back to my little notebook. Rear drop links, ×2. Check all sub-frame bolts. Let's go under the front. Okay, so we're underneath the left-hand front suspension. Steering rack gaiter. All fine. Steering rack, power steering. There's the crankshaft sensor. Probably your best shot you've had of it this series. Front UJ looks a little crusty, but it's just rust at the end of the day. Again, that's not original. That is too pliable. Earthing strap looks complete, if a little verdigris green. No sign that the cats have been blowing. Again, crusty, but what isn't? Exhaust looks completely serviceable. No telltale sooty marks on the silencers or any of the heat shields. Gearbox pan completely dry. Okay, that's all looking very good. Still got its transport plates, but they were a better design by this stage. So a little bit crusty. I'll check inside the car, under the carpets on that, but they look okay. Okay, under the engine. Interesting, there's a chalk mark X on there. Might be a replacement from a breakers. Why? It's all dry. It's still got its ducting. Oil filter, the paint is cracking off. That's because it's stood so long. Now, this is well corroded. So that is a separate piece that holds the subframe to this cross member. And then with this cross member that looks well crusty, I don't want to drop it in my face, just a sec. So that really wants to come out. Be checked out, tidied up, and if necessary replaced, because that bracket is not completely intact, as you can see. Yeah, and that's where water tends to sit, just because it's horizontal surface. Piece of poor design. And you got 2 sheets of metal welded together with spot welds, so again, it's going to rust out quite easily. Brake lines should be pinned to this, but they're a bit loose. That might mean the clips have come adrift. Might mean somebody's replaced some. And in fact, is that our leak? And is that why this is so rusty? Because brake fluid has been flowing onto it. Quite possible. That looks pretty manky in that corner. But now I've got somewhere to look, I'll check from the top as well. Poof, yeah, a lot of loose debris in there. So those front lines might need replacing, be my instinct. No, that's the worst thing I found. Even the aircon pump, which is normally covered in oil and leaky, is merely slightly shiny. Right, I'm declaring Steele a good, certainly savable car. I will not see this go to scrap. No, 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 he is nice, with the exception of that area. So that'll be under tray off, bracket tray off, cross member, possibly cut and welded, possibly repaired. It's hard to tell what is flaky surface and what is structural until you get into it. I've got some brake fluid here in order where I can leak it back out. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop you guys under here to see if we can see anything. Right, I'll go and pump up the pedal, see where it drips. Ah, I see some drips of fluid. I guess you guys have already seen it. Yay. Okay, so brake fluid is emerging here. And it's a right mess. And could well have been caused by somebody digging around, trying to see if it's rusty. So again, it's this front cross member, brackets, under tray that's got to come off to examine it all, and we're potentially looking at replacing the front cross brake pipes. Okay, interior. Black interior, which isn't normally a colour I'd go for, but I gotta say it looks smart because it contrasts with the platinum exterior. I think, you know, the pale interiors brighten them and give them a little lift, bit of a luxury feel, but I guess black gives it a sporting look. Anyway, seats, driver's one's always the most worn, and look at that, that's it. No splits, no cracks. It's obviously been treated a lot, a little bit of colourant on that, and I'll be back. Recaro with the separate headrests. When you move that forward like that, the headrest should go up and down. It isn't. So hear the motor in the seat, but it's not doing what it's supposed to do. That goes up and down electrically. We got the parcel shelf to sort out because the previous owner has obviously taken the hatch out and the membrane to get at the tank, and we've got the high level brake light in the back has come adrift. They have in practically every XK8. Headlining down, as is normal in an XK8. So yes, Andy, if you're watching, I will be doing that shortly. What seats have we got? Okay, we've got electrically adjustment. Oh, that's not good. Okay, that has gone mental. Keys out, ignition. Is that the compressor going? Or is that a motor running? Right, that's gone crazy. Let's turn off the battery. I don't want it melting anything. But it proves, you know, I'm not doing this for the camera. It's the first time I'm checking any of this stuff. Hard reset. Now, was it going to carry on buzzing if I reconnect? Let's find out. Nope. I'll leave that loose and the spanner there. Seat is in very good condition on this side. I know the headrest is down. That's, you can hear the motors clicking inside that. I'm trying to draw this down. That's what you don't want it to do. See, if it was up and it hit that and you move the seat forward, you could strain it against the dashboard or the screen. Still running. Let's put it back. That's winding the other way, still doing nothing. It's quite common for them not to work. Lumbar. Hear it? That's pumping. Backrest. Forward, backward, headrest up, headrest down, doesn't work. This one, right, something very fried in there. So we're probably looking at a seat module, because it's not the switches and it's not going to be the motors. Could it be it's possible we have a flat battery? Interesting. Just put the key in the ignition, we're down to 9 volts. So I take it back. This might all be down to a low battery. Remember, this battery has been starting the car. But XK8s and XKRs are so sensitive to a battery that's not in mint condition that I always say, and I genuinely mean it, if it ain't got a flat tyre and there is petrol in it, anything that's gone wrong, it's quite likely to be the battery. Hat, forward, backward, up, up, motor for the headrest, tilt, right, it's all working. Yay! All works. Fabulous. Pop in a key. As soon as I put the key in, steering wheel rises to a memory position, so we know The steering wheel motors and memories all work, and the encoder ring we've installed was reading the key. It's just a resetting thing, I think. All the way to the top, wait for a click. All the way to the bottom, wait for a click. That should be set now. We'll do the other one. All the way to the top, wait for a click. Bottom. That should be set now. I'm going to wind them up. So the seal has just lifted itself out of the door. So there's our next failure. So open the door, see if the window drops. Yep, it did. When I close the door, does it go back up? Yes, it did. So the memories work on the windows. Mirrors, yep, left, right, down, up, down, left, right, yay. Has it got auto fold? Nope. So if you flick the joystick back twice, it should fold the mirrors, but it's not. So instruments we know work. Clock works. Fan motor. Recirculate. Yeah, heard it change. External temperature gauge works. Aircon won't work because the engine's not running. I'm not going to start it at the moment because no tank. But the display's fine and that all works. Heated defrost screen is a setting. Rear screen might not work when we're not running the engine. Yeah, I can hear them moving the air around. Air reminds me. Vents. Working. Working. Left, right, working. Working. They're very delicate mechanisms on these and they age and very often are not going to do anything for you. Radio will have no coding. But I know the code. It needs the code because the battery's been off. Welcome. No discs. Loading. No discs. The fact that the system is going for the discs is all good. Mode bass. Right, let's go back to FM. See if we can get anything to tune, even though the aerial's not fully up.
I have you to thank.
Yep.
No, I assure you, it is your.
We'll check out speakers another time because this has got far more speakers than my previous cars have had. We've got what appears to be a microphone because on our steering wheel we've got steering wheel controls. Let's just try the volume.
Thank you.
Yes, that works.
I must thank the car.
And if I go under here, look at this. The genuine Jaguar Motorola phone. So pleased to have that. Now, whether I can make it do anything of any use, I don't know. But so cool to have it. Sun visors. Will these work? Yes. And the flap works. Yes. No. Is that a bad connection? No. Yeah, I shall want to check that out because, as we discussed in a recent video, shorts in that can actually stop your car running. The dash is in really great condition. No cracks in the lacquer. I've seen a couple of people who have recently had XK8s on YouTube and say, oh, water's got in or something here. It's called spalting. It's got kind of a fungal infection in the tree, in the wood, but that's quite prized in woodworking circles. So yes, some of them are quite extreme, but it's normal. It's part of the character and figuration of the wood. Same as having knot holes and these eyes in bird's eye maple. Okay, great condition around the gear stick. And the surrounds all work as well. The steering wheel is sports plus wood. And it's got a really nice dark top edge. I actually prefer this one to the one in Purdy, but I shan't swap it over because it belongs with this one. Although we haven't got the remote control working to check out all the locking systems, we can check the central locking by going like that. And yeah, it's locked both sides. If I pull this one, it's open both sides. So as soon as I program the key fobs to work on this car, I think we'll have a decent central locking system. Okay. It lifted, yeah, this flap because it's distorted. The glass got behind it and lifted it, so yeah, there's a lump there, a bit of corrosion, so I might have to have these seals off and just reshape them a little bit, dress them, but I think they'll be savable. So either driver's seat headrest not working, passenger seat headrest. That'll be the cables have come off. And because I can hear the motor running, I'm quite confident I'll be able to fix that. The seat mechanisms actually worked other than that once I got the battery swapped. We've got passenger vanity mirror, vanity lights, let's call it, and passenger waste seal catches glass. We've got a program remotes. And finally, let's have a look under the bonnet. Although I'm more familiar with this, we spent far too much time under here. And these shock mounts are not in their prime, but they are superb compared to many. They've not crumbled, and from underneath I can see that they're still maintaining sort of their 10-15mm thickness. So they look good. In this department, we've been in there, we've actually got rid of water, we've already sorted out the drainage and unblocked it, so that should be fine. In this fuse box, we've got no issues. ABS motor, we assume is fine, but until we can drive the car, we will not know. So we need to be able to trigger the motor to get it to work, which will either cause codes or not, and time will tell on that one. It's going to need an oil change just because of age, but the oil level's correct and it looks brand new clean. The hatches for the headlights look all intact, and the fact there's no condensation in there is a miracle. So they're being left well alone. In this compartment, we're assuming that the booster is going to be good. There's no reason to think otherwise. It's all going to need bleeding out and putting in fresh fluid anyway, but you know, that's all in combination with the brake line issue. The wiper blades are at least 10 years old, and to be fair, are probably serviceable if I give them a good clean and soak them in some rubber rejuvenator. Never thought to check horn. Device that only gets checked at MOTs in the UK. That's fine. I know the fans work because they've been running. I know it leaks no water. It does want to top up on the fluid because I let some out doing the coolant temperature sensor. The airbox has got a broken instrument, which means it's resting on the cam cover, which will obviously make a noise. So it needs a new instrument, which is that little rubber bung there. Bonnet lining is actually holding up reasonably well. They all rub on the engine because there's not a lot of space, but that's not too bad. Wants a bit of a clean up. Let's look at that. Power steering fluid. Yep, it's red. You won't be able to tell that, but I just saw the drip look translucent and red, which is good. And it's on the right level on the dipstick. So we're not seeing a puddle of oil underneath. Rubber seal looks smooth in there, perfectly intact. So that's good. Don't need to replace the cap. The fuel filler cap, after we got rid of some of this. Yeah, that seal looks okay, dry, but not cracked. That metal plate there is just to set that on there magnetically. MOT failure if that seal is gone. And I'm just going to check these two lights up here. So side lights are on. Yep. And they're working as well. And this should be a boot release, but I'm not going to be shutting the boot properly until I've got the key barrel in and working to test that. So we'll just have to take it on faith. That one still works. So let's have a quick look down my list. See what sort of expense we're looking at. Two front tyres, well, best will in the world, £300. Front sill edges might need some welding. That's my time more than money, but I know from experience, you know, paint, consumables, etc. You're looking at about £40 by the time you've sorted everything out. And I'll include that with the rear wheel arch cosmetics. So I've got to order some paint, got to order some lacquer, a bit of filler. I've already got plenty of rust converter, and I'll do most of the job by cutting out. And I've got sheet steel and welding kit. Door mirror cap painting. So I could replace the mirror caps. They're easy to find in chrome. Sometimes you can find them in colours. So to look at, but let's say we're looking at another £40. This is pure guesswork. Fuel tank clean. So if I put some chemical in, clean it out, flush it out, and just reinstate it, it might be 50 quid. That could convert to 280, I think, was the best price I've seen for a replacement tank. Level sensor, haven't checked them out. If I can't reinstate it, I'm going to guess that's going to be about £50. The aerial is stuck. I'm sure I'll be able to fix that. Boot lid barrel, got one. Door key barrel, got one. Wheel nut key. You can spend £70 or £80 on one of those. I have seen some advertised at 30, but they're not in stock at the moment with auto reserve Jaguar, which is my favourite, so I'll hang around till they've got one in. Rear drop links, about 25. Check the subframe bolts, is nothing. Front cross member, this is where it gets really, let's see. I can't predict this stuff. I don't know if I can even buy a front cross member. I'm hoping I can repair or make up stuff myself. Brake pipes, guesswork, you guys tell me. I mean, that's going to cost me about 60 quid. Driver's seat headrest, I don't think will cost me anything. Passenger seat headrest won't cost me anything. Passenger vanity lights, I'm pretty sure I can find a fuse, a wire, something, a bulb. Passenger waist seal catches the glass. Hopefully I can repair that. Programming the remotes, I have got a remote for this car. Assuming it programs well, let's just clean up, program, that's no money. So, minimally, what we're looking at, 300, 480, 520, 560, 610, 670, 700, 785. £785 guesstimates on that piece of paper. Car was 700. I've already given it a fuel pump, £35. An ECU and lock set, which was 200 and can't quite remember, 16 I think. Cam and crank sensors, I will ignore the fact that I bought several of, I'll just go for the one set. I think they come to about £48. Coolant sensor, I think might have been about 18. MAF, 25. And we'll ignore all the consumables and bits and pieces. I have got to add in the transport, which for this vehicle, I think from memory, I'll look back on my videos, there's 150 I had to pay for each of the two cars that I got brought up from the south coast. So that is, so I'm already into it for 1,192, and we're looking at about 785. So I guess where we're at is this is going to be about a £2,000 car to me. I'm not going to consider any of my time, which would be epic. Okay. For the fun factor and entertainment it's given me, I'm reasonably content that I'd like to put this on the road. So look out for the trike video coming up soon, and a shed load more X100 stuff, as well as a longer term review on my Infiniti M35H. Yes, that's one of my cars. And myself and Joe are also going to give our first review of our new to us motorhome, which we've had for a little while now. We've already been on 2 little holidays in it. Our review of our Bursner Ixio. There may be another little video pops out, it'd be a small one before Christmas, but if this is the last one you watch from me, then have a wonderful Christmas break, everybody, and I hope that 2026 brings you health, wealth and happiness for you and for yours. Merry Christmas, everybody! If you're interested in any of the gadgets, gizmos and tools that I use in my videos, then very often I'll put a link to relevant items in the description below the video, but you can also go to amazon.co.uk/shop/to the garage,
and that will give you the To The Garage storefront. These are not things I'm selling, it's just a link to all of the Amazon based items that I've bought over the years which are relevant to the channel. Nice little feature. Thank you very much, Amazon. If you're enjoying our channel, then don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon so you get notifications of new videos.